Let's say you know 10 people really well. They're in your sphere of influence. They trust what you have to say and they believe in you. What if each one of those 10 introduces you to another 10 people? Those 100 people, again, you build your network, you build a relationship with them, they enter your sphere of influence. And what if each one of them introduced you to another 10 people? That's the power of leveraging your network as a revenue channel. I'm Christian and I'm a go-to-network evangelist at Commsor, and let's talk about your sphere of influence in business. The sphere of influence is essentially the group of people around you that find what you say trustworthy. You can influence, as you can get from the title, but remember, you don't control their actions. You can make recommendations, but they're still individual decision makers that will make their own choice that's best for them. Here at Commsor, we think B2B needs more of a human touch. Don't get us wrong. We've tried AI, we've tried automation, but we found that more is not more. And I think a lot of people are seeing that in the marketplace right now. You can send more emails, but actually you end up getting a lower quality of response and fewer responses in the long run. You're burning your bridges. You're not building a network. What's really interesting about this as well is it has diminishing returns and you are actively contributing to those diminishing returns. The more outbound you do, the more numb people become to cold outbound. Therefore, the more outbound you need to do. And it's a vicious cycle to the point that we're now seeing email providers are finding ways to block this cold outbound. It should be a lesson when you're having to create 15 domains and warm them up just to be able to send 100 emails from each of them without getting blocked, that maybe you're not doing the right approach. It's a little bit like Principal Skinner saying, no, I can't be wrong. It must be the kids.
No, it's the children who are wrong.
With this accessibility of AI and automation, we think we've gotten distracted between output and input. What we're doing is doing more input when we send these cold emails, but we shouldn't be measured on input. It should be on output. How many high quality leads you're generating and how much you're growing your business. So if it takes 1,400 touch points in order to create one opportunity with this cold outbound, why are we spending so much energy there? When with that network in our sphere of influence, we could be getting warm intros to accounts that we want to speak to immediately. Now you're starting to get the value of that sphere of influence. Let's discuss how you can bring more people into yours. 1. Provide value before they've ever purchased. Approach each conversation from a position of wanting to learn and understand the prospect and future customer instead of trying to sell them in just your point of view. Think about personal interactions in your own life. If your brand new neighbor who you'd never met before immediately started asking you for favors like, hey, I'm out of town next week, can you come over and feed my cat? It'll be a bit strange. There's no relationship there. They're not yet a part of your network. But if instead, the neighbor on the other side who you'd known for years asked you to do that favor, it'll be obvious. Of course you do it. You've already exchanged favors in the past and you understand and trust each other. You both sit in each other's sphere of influence. With the sphere of influence, building a network, it has to be a give and take. You can't ask for people's attention unless you've given them something first. So focus on what you can give to people that's of high value. You'd be amazed how much time they're then willing to spend with you. 2. Engage with your community. Before a relationship can blossom, you first have to water the seed. Go find out where your community is. Go find out where your ICP lives and breathes. Become a part of that community and add value. There's loads of ways you can do this. You can join conversations on LinkedIn. You can join Slack communities, private communities. There may even be dinners in your city that you can become a part of. Go with an ambition to learn and help. Maybe early on you don't know a lot, but actually you're building a network and you can say, hey, I don't know how to solve your problem, but I spoke with someone with your same title at a similar company recently. Let me ask if they would be open to an introduction. You're saying, I don't have your answer, but I have access to people who may. And don't forget, if you don't find that community that you're looking for, create your own. If you're looking for that community, you can guarantee that your buyer is as well. You could be the founder of the community, which is full of your ICP. You're giving them value and they keep coming back to learn more. You're going to be in the right place for when they're ready to buy. And like I said, for a relationship to blossom, you first have to water it. So here's some incredible metrics from Salesforce that show that by watering that seed early on, you completely change the relationship down the road. According to Salesforce's data, within their community members were 3 times less likely to churn than other customers. They had 2.5x more deals created, had a 35% faster product adoption, which is going to massively reduce churn, massively increase the speed at which you could upsell. They also had 2x larger deals by dollar value. All of this shows that how you start a relationship changes how that relationship goes on. By starting as a community friend and giving that support, it changes the dynamic when you then transition into prospect and seller. 3. Create content. 82% of buyers said the social media content of the vendor played a role in their buying decision. That's a crazy number. We live in an attention economy. So if you can attract your prospects' attention before they're even ready to buy, you're already one step ahead. And creating content is the best way to go about that. What's amazing about creating content is it actually forces you to learn. It's like back in school when they said one of the best ways to learn something is have to teach it to someone else. If you want to create content, you begin to realize that this needs to be snappy, this needs to be effective, this needs to be direct, this needs to be useful. And it helps clarify your own thoughts on a topic so that when you're sharing it with others, they're getting your crystallized thoughts and you've now become much better in that space. So how do you get started? Let's say you're a sales rep that sells to social media managers. Maybe begin with following a few of them on LinkedIn, commenting on their posts, asking questions, engaging with their content. If they write a blog, subscribe to it. Then when you've got questions, reach out to them, try and learn more. Write your own opinion and share it. And if you want and you build a relationship, tag a few of them in to help start that conversation. Be a part of the ecosystem and give back, and you'll be amazed how quickly people come and meet you halfway. Find a way to get started and you'll be amazed by the response. All of this together shows that your company's and your own sphere of influence is incredibly powerful and it's actually infinite. The more you feed it, the more it will grow. It's 2024. It's time to start looking at your network and your company's network as the best revenue channel to warm revenue.